Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session of Neota Network. This time we're going to switch gears a little bit and hear from one of our partnered company and one of our resellers, Transform Data International. So this is under the corporate legal law firm and Neota platform stream because they actually cover quite a bit of ground as they're working with partnered companies. So I'd like to introduce Rob Kubin, who's a co-founder of Transform Data International. And Rob's going to be talking about how to maximize the value from Microsoft Teams with integrated self-service applications. So this will be a little bit of deployment and as well talking about the all-important integrations that Neota can accomplish. I'll pass it over to Rob. Take it away.
Thanks, Max. And in this session, we'll indeed be looking at ways to integrate self-service applications within the Microsoft Teams interface. I would like to start by looking at the functionalities that Microsoft Teams provide out of the box. There are ways to perform video conferences and online meetings via Microsoft Teams. You could share your screens with colleagues or externals. You could share files as part of a team or on demand by dragging and dropping them into a chat window. You could use it for instant messaging and phone calls and even connect your phone systems onto Microsoft Teams nowadays. You could use it to share your notes and use and embed OneNote, basically. You can create planners and create tasks and assign these tasks to internal and external people. And it's actually a real collaboration platform, and it allows you to work with internals and externals. Now, apart from all these standard functionalities that Microsoft Teams offers, you can also provide custom functionalities, and that's what we'll be looking at today, the ways to integrate self-service applications into Teams. If we do a step back and we look at what happened in March when a lot of people had to work from home, we see that the use of Microsoft Teams has heavily increased. And that's basically the point where we saw chaos started. And when we say chaos started, it basically means that IT teams often rushed into deploying Microsoft Teams as what they saw the alternative to Skype for Business. So that's indeed how it started. Users adopted Teams, started making calls using Teams, and used it for instant messaging. And then at a certain point in time, users found out that it could also be used to create a team and to share content and to invite internal, or if policies allowed, even external people. And that's basically the point where chaos or panic started. You had a lot of teams in your environment without a clear purpose, without a clear naming scheme, and nobody really understood who had access. So in some cases, there could have been security implications because external users had access and other people dragging and dropping stuff in without knowing who was actually collaborating in this team. And because of the loads of teams and the no clear purpose of a team, the missing naming scheme, we typically see that the content, the documents are very fragmented and hard to find. That's how it started around April, May. If we now look back a few months later, we can clearly say that if you want to deploy Teams, it's important to have a proper design and a proper deployment strategy. And a team on itself is not a solution. Team will not solve the problems in a magical way. You can use a team to solve business problems, but you need to think of the purpose of your teams. Now, if you understand the purpose of your teams and you deployed it in a proper way, that's typically where you see that it could be very efficient and powerful collaboration tools. How we look at it from a law firm and legal department perspective is that we see that law firms could typically use Microsoft Teams to collaborate with their clients and even to provide services via the Teams interface. And we see that legal departments can service their business users via the Teams interface by first providing documents and providing chat functionality, but also to share self-service applications, for example, to create contracts and documents. Now, let's have a look at that. I've now switched to our demo environment. We're looking at the client portal Minx, which is a team created with the purpose of a client portal to share information internally and externally. The Post tab allows you to chat. The Files tab allows you to share files and create structures. And there are several other tabs, but I would like to focus on the self-service piece for this demonstration. If I click the self-service tab, you will see that a Neota application loads. It's styled in the color combination of Microsoft Teams. And if I click the next button, the first question that the system asks me is what kind of document that I would like to create. If we would click the non-disclosure agreement, it will start asking me questions about the party of the non-disclosure agreement. So this application has been filled with sample data for the demonstration purpose. So I will click next. And let's say we're going to create a NDA for 3 years. I will apply the Dutch law to this document. I'll answer some of these questions. And the answer that I give to these questions, they obviously have impact to the clauses and pieces of text that are either shown or hidden in the final document. The purpose of this NDA is a demonstration. And if I click next, you will see that my document is now complete. I can download it as a Word document or a PDF. So if I click the Word document, you will see that Word opens the final document for me, including the pieces of text and the answers that I've given. You see in red the word demonstration and the address details and the entity details of the NDA that we just created. If you have integrated your Teams application with Microsoft Outlook, it's possible to look at your data from within Outlook, but also to open Neota applications from here. As you can see here on top, there is a document generator button, which opens the same application and starts asking you similar questions from within the Outlook interface. For this last part of the demonstration, I would like to show you how our customers, Bull Sanders, uses the Microsoft Teams application to collaborate with their clients. We are currently logged on with a guest account. So as you can see here, this is a guest account, and we're looking at this from a client's perspective. As you can see, I can use the Teams application as a native desktop application, but in this example, I've used Google Chrome to connect to Microsoft Teams and basically to display this within my browser. Let's switch to full screen view. And as you can see here again on the left-hand side, I'm presented with all the areas where we have access. And we've activated the self-service tab within the Contoso client portal. From within here, I can create several sorts of documents, or I'm allowed to log a new case and submit a new case basically to Bull Sanders. As you can see here, all these functionalities are provided on screen, and I can start entering my properties and send in my request. And that's basically what I wanted to show you today. Thanks, everyone. And I'm giving the word back to Max. Thanks.
Great. Thank you very much, Rob. That was fantastic. And, you know, I think something that our customers and prospects and sort of everyone wants to hear about, because one of the great powers and attributes to Neota is our ability to connect to other systems, and Microsoft, especially the 365 and as well the Team Suite, being such a core component to a lot of businesses. This is something we're seeing more and more use of. So thank you very much, Rob, and thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and looking forward to joining us on the next session. So look forward to seeing you there.